Okay, so this next exercise that we're going to show you is an exercise known as the dead bug. Now, the dead bug is my personal favorite exercise to help you build core strength and stability, and also the favorite exercise for so many of our clients as well, just because of how effective this exercise is in terms of getting you to really be able to feel your core and your abdominal muscles working. But again, as we have emphasized, this exercise, when done correctly, is also very safe and very easy to do for your back. But again, it's just so effective in terms of helping you learn how to turn on and engage the right kind of core muscles as well. All right. So go ahead and reset. All right, so what Twee's going to do is she's going to start by laying on her back with her knees up and her arms up at a 90-degree angle. And this is called the dead bug because this is kind of what a bug looks like when it's kind of laying on its back with its arms and legs up in the air. So that's where the name of the exercise comes from. Right now, the most important part about this exercise is that you want to learn how to keep your back completely flat and flush into the mat at all times. All right. Now, when you do this, this is going to demand a lot of engagement of your abdominal muscles. So if you start to feel your core muscles activate, or if you start to feel your core muscles shaking by just performing this action, then that is what we want. And that is how you know you're doing this exercise correctly. All right. Now, while keeping your back, again, flush against the floor the entire time, we're going to start with the level 1 version of this exercise, which involves you just lowering down one arm at a time like so. All right, so Twee here is just kind of very slowly lifting her left arm down and very slowly pulling her arm back up. And then she's going to do her right arm. And again, the most important part about this is to make sure your back is staying flush against the floor the entire time. There's going to want to be a tendency for your back to kind of lift off the ground. So again, just really make sure that your back is staying flush against the floor the entire time. All right, so if the arms are end up being too easy for you, go ahead and reset Tweet. Then you can start by doing the level 2 version of this exercise, which involves you just lowering one leg at a time. All right. So Tweet here is just lowering her left leg very slowly, keeping her back flush against the floor the entire time. Hold it for a couple seconds and then bring the left leg back up and then bring the right leg down now. All right. Now, the most important part about this exercise is to make sure that the arm and the legs that are stationary are staying still as possible. Bring the leg back up and go and practice one more time on each leg. And there's a tendency for sometimes for the legs to want to move or for the arms that want to move. But again, just make sure you really focus on keeping your arms and your leg as still as possible and go and bring the left leg back up. And again, just as you lower down, individual limb, it's more important that you focus on the limbs that are not moving to try to maintain as stationary of movement as possible. All right, 3, 2, 1, pull it back up. All right, now the level 3 version of this exercise involves you now lowering one arm and the opposite leg, all right, like so. Again, so she's lowering her left arm and her right leg, keeping her back straight the entire time. And again, what's more important that she's keeping her left leg and her right arm completely still, and slowly bring the arm and leg back up. And let's repeat one more time on the other side. All right, right arm, left leg, keeping the stationary leg and arm as still as possible. Back stays flat against the floor the entire time. 3, 2, 1, and slowly pull everything back up and rest. All right. Now, this exercise is, I promise you, is way harder than it looks, and it's going to create a lot of activation and a lot of stimulation through your core. It's not uncommon for people to get very fatigued just after a couple of repetitions, but as long as your back isn't hurting and as long as you feel your abdominal and your core muscles working, that's how you know you're doing this exercise correctly. And at some point it will start to pay off in terms of helping you develop a much stronger core and a much healthier spine and a much healthier back as well. All right, so that's it for the dead bug exercise. Now let's move on to the next exercise for today.